everyone. Today, we're going to discuss understanding and appreciating diversity and the differences of others. Diversity means that every single person around the world is unique. Each person's diverse uniqueness can be separated into many different categories. For example, a person's race or ethnicity, gender, age, physical abilities, religious beliefs, or political beliefs are just a few ways to highlight someone's diverse qualities. Diversity can also look like other things, such as an athletic person, a musical person, or an artistic person. Whether you're from the United States, from Canada, or Africa, where are some places that you've gone that have allowed you to meet new people? What if everyone in the world was exactly the same? If they all looked the same, talked the same, shared the same views, activities, and beliefs, what kind of world do you think it would be? Do you think this would be a place that you'd want to live in? Discuss why or why not. Lastly, look around you. Discuss some ways that you and your classmates are alike. Now, what are some ways that make you different?
Good morning, BHS, and welcome to Hawk News. Happy National Cinnamon Day, everyone.
That's right. Let's take this time to celebrate this tasty spice that is not only used in cooking, but also for medicinal purposes. Bet you didn't know that.
It's also the day after Halloween. I wonder if anyone got a cinnamon stick instead of candy.
Today is Friday, November 1st. It's a G-Day schedule. My name is Nick.
My name is Sawyer Gomes. The Good Life video we just watched was on the topic of diversity. Someone once said, diversity is not about how we differ. Diversity is about embracing one another's uniqueness. That's a good way to look at it. As always, we have a fun-packed show for you all today. Here are our top stories. Nick.
Val is back this weekly Healthy Choices segment.
We will, once again, be teaching you proper English.
The blood drive at BHS happened this week at the gym.
Have you seen the Day of the Dead display located near the main foyer? We will learn more about it.
And Sawyer's back with a movie suggestion.
All this and much more coming up on this week's episode of Hawk News.
There was a blood drive at the BHS gym this week.
That's right. Once again, members of our school committee rolled up their sleeves to make a life-saving donation. This event is organized annually by our National Honor Society. Hawk News was on site.
This is our American Red Cross blood donation event that we are hosting for our NHS project, and we're just hoping to raise blood because there is a blood shortage right now. And thank you to everyone that did donate today.
Just wanted to say thank you to those of you who donated. We've been doing this for quite some years at the high school. This is our 31st drive. We've collected over 1,000 units of blood in that time period, and 51% were brand new donors. And we had some brand new donors today, so thank you.
It's a cultural event that is oftentimes connected with Halloween.
Yes, it's not exactly a Halloween event, but it certainly is in the same theme. We are talking about the Day of the Dead. This week, Ms. Acosta's class took part in an activity that educated our school community on the topic. Let's learn more about this interesting cultural event.
Day of the Dead dates back to pre-Columbian, pre-Hispanic, indigenous traditions in Mexico. The Aztecs, as they conquered people, incorporated their traditions into the Aztec pantheon. So we know that these are borrowings from Mesoamerican people. It's not unique only to Mexico, this moment of linking back to ancestors. So it happens that in Japan and Shinto traditions it's Obon, in Celtic traditions it's Samain. As the sun is losing the battle and the night is gaining, it's universally felt that this is the resurgence of the domain of the dead and our ancestors.
We are pleased to bring you some of Emma's photography every week. Let's see what she prepared for us this week. It's all around us. You can't avoid it, but you can learn to manage it. That's right, we're talking about stress. This week's Healthy Choices segment with Val focuses on just that.
Stress. Understanding stress. Stress can be a good or bad thing. Good stress is called eustress. It's the stress you feel as adrenaline in a tough situation. Negative stress is called distress, which negatively affects your health. Alarm stage, your body is put into a fight or flight response. Resistance stage, your body adapts to the stress. Exhaustion stage, your body gives in from the constant stress, which is wear and tear. Examples of stress, an example of distress. Eustress is when you're in a competitive game and want to concentrate on winning and feel stressed to perform better. Distress is when you perform worse. Stressors, major life changes, catastrophes, everyday problems, environmental problems. How to reduce stress. You can exercise, you can do journaling, and make sure you get plenty of sleep, which is like 8 to 9 hours. Probably 10 for younger folks.
It's time to think, write, and soar with proper English.
Yes, in this segment we attack common grammar mistakes in the English language.
This week, we ask you which of these sentences is correct. I implied that I was upset, and she correctly inferred why.
I inferred that I was upset, and I correctly implied why.
Let's listen to what people think.
All right, boys, which one of these is correct? I implied that I was upset, and she correctly inferred why. Or, I inferred that I was upset, and she correctly implied why.
Option 1.
I inferred that I was upset, and she correctly implied why.
So, option 1 and option 2?
Yeah.
I think it's question 2. I inferred that I was upset and she correctly implied why.
I'd say the same. I inferred that I was upset and she correctly implied why.
I think it's the first one. I implied that I was upset and she correctly inferred why.
I agree.
I think it's the second one. I inferred that I was upset and she correctly implied why.
I think it's the first one. I implied that I was upset, and she correctly inferred why.
I agree.
Thank you, Lewis.
Option 1 is correct. So it should be, I implied that I was upset, and she correctly inferred why. And the reason for that is imply has to do with what I say, and infer has to do with how people perceive things. Okay, so when you say imply, it has to do with you. Infer has to do with others reacting to you.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you speak in proper English.
Hi, this is Patrick Sweeney, behavioral health clinician for Bellingham Schools. And I want to share today some strategies that I have for when dealing with anxiety. So the first thing I always think about when I am feeling anxious, that is that we all have anxiety, and even though we might have different amounts of it. And oftentimes we get ourselves caught up with what I call stinking thinking, which means we tend to worry about things bad happening, negative happening, things like that, and they don't actually even happen. So one of the things that I do, if, for example, there's something that's really kind of weighing on my mind and I'm thinking about it more and more, is one is I try to put it into perspective and weigh the significance of it and really try to decide if this is a real serious problem or it's something that will work itself out. Secondly, in ways to sort of preemptively deal with anxiety, one of the things that I do is make sure I have plenty of rest and plenty of hydration. If you're tired, you become cranky, you become irritable, things start to filter in, negative thoughts and things like that. So it's always good to have rest. Um, and I also spend time at the end of the day to review what are the things that I've successfully accomplished that day that might have been difficult. So was it something that I didn't want to do, but I got through it and did it anyways and feel good about that? Was it something that I was nervous or uncomfortable about, but I braved through it and saw it through the other side instead of avoiding it, which is also a good feeling to have after you've done it. Or maybe it was something that just came along unexpectedly, and instead of uh, reacting negatively to it, I just rolled with it, and I was flexible with it, and feel good about that. Or maybe it was something that just simply tested my patience that day, but I kept in control and I didn't, you know, get out of my comfort zone and things like that. So I could feel good about that. And I feel like when those things are in place, I always feel more confident and better about handling things like, anxious movements and things like that. Because I've also found that individuals that have maybe a little bit more problematic anxieties, the one thing they're lacking a little bit is that self-confidence in their ability to get through the situation successfully. And I know personally that we all can do that. Anxiety, for example, is a human condition. There is no way to take it out of us. It can serve us well at times as well. For example, when you look both ways when you're crossing the street, that's the protective anxiety. We need that. We need that anxiety to tell us something's not okay or maybe dangerous or unsafe. So we try to avoid those. We also, anxiety can help us with staying on our toes, so to speak. So you have a big event coming up, a performance, a presentation, things like that, and your heightened focus on doing well or getting caught up or something like that. That's really good for you. And again, the third one is like the one that we want to avoid and we want to do all the steps necessary to beat is the one that I call stinking thinking when it doesn't do us any good. And then always, if for example, if all those things seem to be working, it's make sure that you're communicating those feelings to other individuals because it is vitally important that you know that we all have anxiety and that we all have different perspectives on how to deal with it. So I'm hoping this is helpful to you. Have a great day.
It's time to go back to the movies with one and only Sawyer Gomes, is that guy, and the Black Hawk movie review with this guy.
Hello, moviegoers. I'm Sawyer Gomes with your Black Hawk movie review. This week's movie review is on The Goonies, starring Sean Astin from The Lord of the Rings, Josh Brolin from Marvel, and Corey Feldman from Stand By Me. The movie follows a band of misfits, the Goonies, as they go on an adventure to find missing pirate treasure after finding the map leading to it in their attic in an effort to save their town. The movie has a great story of what a kid's movie should be, with it having humor, action, the Fratellis, who serve the story as the antagonists, and a questionably human-like character named Sloth. Roll the clip.
My dad told me all about him. See, One-Eyed Willie stole treasure once, and then he got into this cave, and he's been there ever since, trapped. You guys, just what if this map could lead to One-Eyed Willie's rich stuff? I'm setting booty traps. You mean booby traps? That's what I said, booby traps. I want to go home. Don't say that. Goonies never say die!
The film is a classic for Spielberg fans, so if you love adventure movies with great characters who are tough, creative, and fun, then The Goonies you will enjoy. So I give The Goonies a good enough 5 out of 5 Hawks. I'm Sawyer Gomes, and I will see you next time at the movies.
Thank you, Sawyer, for all your work. Always very interesting.
Thank
you,
Nick.
Up next is sports, the best segment of all time.
We are happy to bring back a favorite of ours. Yes, we're talking about Captain's Corner. It has been long awaited. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Dougie Walton, captain of the cross-country team. Boys, we went 2-4 this year. Girls, I'm 4-2. We've got 2 invitationals coming up, the 2nd and the 9th. And this is Captain's Corner. Friday, November 1st, varsity football hosts Medfield at home. Saturday, November 2nd, cross country has a Frank Mooney Invitational, and girls varsity cheerleading is versus Ashland. Unified has 2 games this week, Monday and Wednesday. 1 at Norton and 1 at versus Medway at home. That's it for your sports this week. I'm Dougie Walton, and this is Captain's Corner.
And that's all for sports this week.
That was crazy. Now let's find out what's in store for Bellingham this weekend. Is this week nice, or is this week nice's weather going to continue?
Hi, my name is Victor. Here's what in store for the weather this weekend. Today is a high 79 degrees and a low 42. AM clouds, PM sun. For Saturday, it is going to be a high 55 degrees and low 31 degrees, partly clouds. And on Sunday, it's going to be a high 56 degrees and low 36 degrees, mostly sunny. And that is the weather for Bellingham this weekend. See you next week.
Let's go! Let's go, Victor! Let's go, Victor!
All right. Well, that concludes our show for this week. Thank you so much for watching. We will leave you with our quote of the week. It comes to us from Jim Henson. It reads, "Life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending."
On that note, we have a great weekend, everyone. What kind of movie is your life shaping into? Perhaps you can use this weekend to rewrite a few scenes that would make it a positive one.
We and our entire behind-the-scenes crew wish you a great weekend. This has been Sawyer Gomes.
Nick.
Stay classy, VHS. Goodbye. Let me finish the line.
That was good.
We should do bloopers for this.